Through the prayers of Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God of mercy, us and save us. Amen. Good evening. For those who are new here, my name is Father Joseph Swaden, and this is our live Q&A session that we do every Sunday on NFTU. You may have noticed the title said "Last Q&A." It is the last Q&A, I think, till the 27th, or Thomas Sunday. I am not doing a stream on Pascha. I just feel like I'm gonna probably have to do one or two shows this week, and it's not gonna be in Pascha. We got a lot going on. Again, let me see here. I'm gonna talk about it. The problem is this is I mentioned on Twitter, this is like this is like Infinity War of like the Ortho online universe. Like, I wasn't expecting it to involve William Albrecht, and I wasn't expecting to get into it with William Albrecht and then put up an old debate that I guess some Catholic guy, I mentioned his name on Twitter, very nice of him. He found this debate that had been unlisted. The other one, the Fatima Roundtable, has been deleted, and so everyone's got a beef now. It's like they're everyone's in it, and it's kind of yeah. So it's kind of like the whole online ortho universe is affected, and I'm no different. It's uh it's like everyone's got the beef. And so yeah, Enslaved by Truth says Orthobro's wilding out, and the Cath Bros. D2C says when it's about the Orthobros, it's never clickbait. Enslaved by Truth says Orthobros have been Orthodox for a month, and LARPers and catechumens going crazy. It's insane. What we're watching is literal insanity. And the discourse, because this whole Jay Dyer versus Sam Shamoon thing, Shamoon just brought the discourse down to such a low level. Everyone's at their meanest. Oh, by the way, Joyous Palm Sunday. This is like, it's just bound. It was bound to happen. Great Lent is always that time of where people are at kind of get at their worst. The demons are on their nerves, and it was bound to just explode. And it did. And so, but that is not why I wrote Last Q&A. The reason I wrote Last Q&A is because next week is Pascha. And while, yes, Pascha evening, I will probably be free. I've wanted a day off for a really long time, people. And I'm going to take it. I am taking my Sunday off for Pascha, okay? All right. Enslaved by Truth says, as a Catholic, I pray that Jay Dyer converts Sam to World Orthodoxy. Well, this is something that I was mentioning, is that Jay and, a lot of the Ortho Bros, they're really big fans of Chieti, the Chieti document. That is basically, it's a modern day version of Florence, effectively. Everyone in their own sphere. So it's it's Unionism 2.0. So when the so-called traditionalists, and that's another place where we ended up getting involved. What's it called? It doesn't do anything. Enslaved by Truth, Chieti does nothing for World Orthodox. By the way, just a reminder that if you want to make a jump on the stream, you can jump on the stream live just by clicking on the link at the top of the chat. If you want to, if you want your what's the word I'm looking for? If you want your chat to appear on the screen, I engage with all the chats. But if you want your chat to appear on the screen, you got to do a super chat. And I used to have a banner for that, and I don't anymore. But if you want your thing on the screen, you want to engage directly with me, you can jump on the line just by clicking on the call-in live link at the top of the chat. It's been a crazy it's a super chat, or super chat if we're going to be technical. Cybercrapper says, I wonder if Sam's got a Jewish doctor. Stop looking into other people's medical lives. Then let's see. DTC says maybe Jay will convert Sam to the true Orthodox. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder about Sam, man. He's saying some nasty stuff. Like I'm not like, team anyone on this. I think it's like team chaos at this point. But if someone started talking about my marriage, and there have been people who have, they're dirt to me. They're gone. I have nothing to say to people who attack my family. And the fact that instead this has turned into a back and forth where just everybody and their mother is involved. Sometimes their mothers aren't necessarily included by their own will, but they're included in the discourse anyway. Sunrise says greetings. But yeah, in any case, I have no idea how I am going to let me see here. Father, you must acquire the beardless wonder, go arch from. I'll tell you, you know what? Who was it? It was Unseen Warfare, who was he's a friend. He's always he's occasionally he's been on our channel before. And I think by extension, DTC were both suddenly labeled as Orthobros by Father Evagrius of the Greek Archdiocese. So like now they're trying to lump in the Orthobros. They're like, oh, they're true Orthodox. Wait a second. They're not true Orthodox. I mean, they're great value zealots. There's a huge difference. They're not actual. Thank you so much for keeping the channel on. Elian, God bless you, Father. How would you respond to Catholics when they say Palamas categorized Muslims and monotheists and a precursor to Vatican II? Well, I mean, technically, I would say Palamas is correct in assuming that Muslims are abstract monotheists. They may claim to have the same God we do. They obviously don't. But they do believe in a single God. There's no doubt about that. It's a demon, but there's no doubt about that. And a precursor to Vatican II. I think anyone who says that is insane. Palamas recognized all the condemnations of the Latins of his time. That's stupid. So I would say tell your friend they're ridiculous. Okay, and Slave by Truth says, LOL. Sunrise says, yeah, I saw the pink phone Filioque collar Go Arch Priest. Yeah. I love the pink phone in his profile pic. I was like, okay, look, clergy suit. I will hold back commentary on your little collar and stuff, but a pink iPhone, like, come on. It doesn't have. I'm not judging iPhone users. It could be a pink Android phone. It's still not right. Well, I mean, if it is, if you're a girl. But in any case, let's see here. Yeah, anyway, so let's see. Nicodemus says, what's considered an Orthobro? Usually, apparently the definition's now in flux, but it used to be like a diorite, somebody who was like obsessed with everything Jay Dyer. What's it called? So yeah, I guess they got that name because one, a lot of them are young and like saying bro, and so Enslaved by Truth says Palamas and Vatican II did have some undeniable parallels. Well, you're comparing a person to a council, but I'm willing to hear it. I'm going to disagree with you, but I'm willing to hear it. Sunrise says Orthodox Meme Squad enjoyers. LOL. I used to be an Orthodox Meme Squad enjoyer until I was blocked by Orthodox Meme Squad. But in any case, Cybercrapper, what's the deal with the pink phone thing? You'd have to ask him. I have no idea. I did not pick that profile pic. But in any case, so here we are. Let me think here what updates we have. MC Chili says maybe he's colorblind. Maybe, in which case we shouldn't judge. He could be colorblind. That's true. He may think he's got a green phone. But in any case, yeah, so let's see here. Ilion says, if you go to Divine Mercy Apologetics, perhaps you could do a review. He goes in depth into Palamas, Lumen Gentium, and Vatican II. Now, it is worth noting that Vatican II did kind of affirm some ideas of St. Gregory Palamas, but that's not his fault. I mean, that was 800 years later. But they did. But I don't going into it would be a long. I assume this is going to be an hour-long video. Yeah, pink NFT light for the women, blue light for the men. Yeah, absolutely right. Like I have my blue light right here, but I am sure that if my wife wanted to host, I could do this. Or that. Wow, that just sounded really sad. I'm just going to keep it at white. Just going to keep it at white because I don't want to cause any trouble. Let me see here. Where can I find the priest you're talking about? It's Father Evagorus on Twitter. Or on X. Here, I'll just go to the thing where he confused people for an Orthobro. Let me see if I can find it. Gotta scroll down Twitter. Twitter was busy today, man. I was like, I got out of Palm Sunday. I felt like I was ready to die. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, I got like William Alberg. Oh no, you got pummeled. And no, I don't need that. Let me see what we got. All these World Orthodox. I mean, hold on. So I'm going to try to share that with you, Cybercrapper, in a second. Adrian Wyatt says all these World Orthodox Orthobros joined World Orthodoxy from Reformed Protestantism and/or Romanism after the ROCOR 1983 anathema against ecumenism. They've never been true Orthodox. I think you're giving them way too much credit, Adrian. I think most of those guys, I mean, most of them were catechumens and are catechumens in different World Orthodox churches over the past 5 years. This is not like a late thing. Sunrise says, so are Sam and Jay going to debate or what? You got me. I mean, my thinking would be that they'd be stupid not to. But, then again, the amount of vitriol and invective we've seen over the past couple of days doesn't exactly lend to let's have a polite discussion when people's mothers and wives are being brought into it, mostly by Sam. It's getting nasty. And so I don't know. Is that the most? It's like debate doesn't quite work like boxing. I'm going to put this up for free because you just said a great thing, John A. That's true. Have a blessed Holy Week, everyone. I have no idea how long I'm going to run. Yeah, this is exactly Anonymous Man 115. It leads to fistfights. This does not lead to it does not lead to a real conducive discussion. So but it does lead to clicks. And so I mean, there's still the industry side of it, unfortunately. So yeah, I would say that it's possible. But while it continues, I don't know. Enslaved by Trees says they're never going to debate. I don't know. At this rate, I wouldn't expect it. At this rate, I'd more expect I'd more expect like some sort of drama, physical drama, than anything else. This all seems. Enslaved by Trees says this all seems like a work in the WWF meeting. Yeah. Sunrise says, what would it even be about? Sam believes in apostolic branch theory, so that, or I think to some degree, I think they all kind of do. Anonymous Man 115 says, it's honestly discouraged me from debate stuff of any kind. Well, frankly, if you're gonna have a debate, just do it. Don't talk smack. If I challenge somebody or if somebody challenges me to a debate on a topic related to the Orthodox faith, then I accept. The grown-up thing to do is stop talking to each other so much and get ready for your debate. That's not what's happening here. What's happening is far uglier. Again, people I know have been dragged into it, even to some degree. I'm like if this were like the Infinity War as I described it in my post, I'd be like Groot, like that's where I am in the whole thing. So in any case, I'm good with it. Honest Man says I'm good with the scriptures, Holy Fathers, lives of saints, and liturgy. The typical book is great, by the way. Yeah, it is. And I'll be honest, that's the most important thing. When it comes right down to it, the important thing is having, an Orthodox life. This is all a sideshow. I am Father Joseph, but anyway. So yeah, like it's just all it's loony stuff. It's funny stuff. Some of it's funny. So let me see if I can find Father Evagorus referring to us as Orthobros. If he hasn't blocked me already, which I doubt. I don't think I'm worth enough to him to block. Well, let's see. All right, this is all night William Albrecht and people arguing with William Albrecht because he was like, it was funny. Yeah, there is no rocket. I don't know. I don't think the analogy too hard, John. In any case, Elion says, well, Sam is using the natural theology passages in the Bible, using them to justify Vatican II, but I feel like he's completely missing the news. He is just, the problem is that this is where Sam and the Walrus, their relationship is not healthy. William Albrecht is really big on lying. And so the thing is, like, getting Sam into that, Sam has always appeared to have been kind of direct and honest, even if he was awful. Yeah, it's Nicodemus that I watched a debate between you and William. I think you did awesome. I enjoyed it. It seemed like William carried this Protestant hierarchy of his only interpretation was correct. Yeah, and what you wouldn't believe what was happening on Twitter while I was putting it up on X, because he was literally saying stuff like, "Oh, I pummeled you in the debate," and I'm sorry if I use that voice, but it's like I hear Walrus voice whenever he talks, and it's awful. And that makes me mad, because walruses are probably very honest creatures. But the point is that while I was trying to put up the debate, then I put up a version of it that had no sound, because those YouTube downloaders, sometimes they only take the video, so I had to go back and get the other one. So I finally put up that debate. And his tone completely changed from I pummeled you to, wait a second, you stole Michael's video, you're gonna get flagged and reported. I'm like, oh, so now you're gonna flag and report me. And like, so it's just like, okay, this is like so tacky. John says, doesn't William always cry after a debate? No, that's just his voice. I think that's just his voice. So it'll be over and it'll be like, okay, guys, let's go get some hamburgers. I don't know. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough mockery. That is beneath my dignity. And so, yeah, Sunrise says these papist debates are hard to watch. They are absolutely. But yeah, so that was my little input into the whole mess that is going on right now, because as we can see, it's not getting any better on the Jay or the Sam side. They are at the point where, if they were able to speak politely last week, that's gone. That's like, it's gone. And so it's going to take a lot of apologies, and there's a lot of egos, and I don't see it. John says, hello, ChatGPT. Make a picture of a walrus eating a hamburger. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even put up a thumbnail, because I wanted to put up me doing a soy face next to what I produced with Grok. I demanded of Grok to make me an image of, at first it was going to be like, it was going to be a, let me see here. It was going to be like, at first it was going to be a wall. I wanted to do Albrecht grazing on a palm tree. And that was too much. So in trying to get that to happen, yeah, I'm going to share some of the wonderful insights Grok has had. Okay. There's no history anymore. We lost the history, Grok. I'm hurt. I'm definitely hurt. We lost our history. So I thought I saved it in the okay. But it was gonna be like a walrus eating palms. And like, Grok seemed horrified by this concept, was like, a walrus does not live on an island or something. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to tell it to make a picture. But anyway, so the point is, Sunrise says, when do we see Studio Ghibli Father Joseph? Never, out of respect to Studio Ghibli, even though I don't think I've watched I might have watched half of one of their movies, like Spirited Away or something. But yeah, I'm sure I'm sure a Studio Ghibli version of me would just be like a little chunky guy with a large beard. So that's not exactly new. Let me see here. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go on the stream today. Because why do it if you well, it's because of the fact that I do like to ask people to support the channel, and we at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on Give Send Go. We really could use it. One of the things William told me yesterday was, stick with your day job, and little did he know this is my day job, and that's all because of all of you, and I really am grateful and appreciative. And it allows me to keep them honest. Let me see here. Does being primarily preoccupied with heretics to the virtual exclusion of the rest of the F? What does the F stand for? Not constitute a heresy in itself? I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Um, Heresy is deviation from orthodoxy. One cannot be preoccupied with heresy or answering heresy without being zealous for orthodoxy. The two they're two sides of the same coin. One, I mean, you can't like make apologetics a religion, and I don't think anyone who's truly an apologist would try. Um, that would be weird. So I'm not sure what to think on your what to think on your question to me, Chuck. I mean, if you want to ask a little more deeply or get more into the specifics, you can, and anyone can jump on the stream. Just click the link at the top of the chat if you want to jump on the stream to ask a question or make a comment. Still, let me go back and find Father Evagrius because I keep my promises, kids. Hold on. All right, so he is a proto-presbyter of the ecumenical throne at Goarch. Hold on. All right, kids, I'm putting it up on the screen. Okay, so this is Father Evagrius. I have no idea why he has a fancy phone. But got a very snappy suit. What appears to be a giant reliquary behind him. That's odd. Yeah. And so that's who he is. So there's your answer. If you are on X and you would like to be called an Orthobro, even though the Orthobros don't generally like us, that's how you do it. Sunrise said, I tried to debate you last stream, but you ended the stream and ran away. Okay, first off, I don't run away from streams. I shut off streams. Second off, you are now at the beginning of the stream. This is only the 25th minute of the first hour. So if you are serious and you wish to debate, please jump on now. Let me see here. If anyone wants to jump on, they can. But so far, nothing yet there. But we got let's see here. Let's see. Besides all the personal attacks, I would like to see William and Jay debate it out. Sam is unqualified to even be in the debate. He's still new to everything. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think I think they're of equal weight class. I think if you take away their ability to yell and scream, then neither of them is particularly good. I think Jay would have the edge. But I think once they introduced the concept of a moderator, Sam and William had no interest whatsoever because especially William's primary debate tactic is talking over a person. If without that secret weapon and with the possibility of one being moderated, that they're not that good. they're pretty much limited when somebody gives them the requirement that they have to breathe every couple of minutes. So let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, very true. I agree, Nicodemus. But anyway, once again, it is our live Q&A session. So I am going to update the banner. This is going to be the banner for the week. Can he do it? Can I do it? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I can just put your names in the super chats because, frankly, if I don't know when people want their names or not, but I think if you put it in a super chat, it's safe to say your name's there. So, okay, hold on, we got to fix this still, and the target for the week is now 490, and so it's a good start. We are always grateful, and so thank God. Let's see. I think Jay has debated William in the past. And it's been a train wreck because it led to threats and whatnot. Okay, that's John, Remnant Roker talking. Really? Oh, that's ugly. That's ugly. Adrian Wyatt, one thing that I've noticed going back decades is people saying true Orthodox Christianity. That's just the same as Orthodox Christianity. No, it isn't. I then explained we get wrongly lumped together. Well, there's a flip side to that, Adrian. And the flip side is if you get too concerned about being lumped together with World Orthodoxy, then they treat it as an offshoot of what they are. So we have to remember that in that sense, when we're talking true Orthodoxy versus World Orthodoxy, we're kind of literally in a fight over who is the Orthodox. And if we forget that, it can be kind of detrimental as well, because then people be like, well, you're not really Orthodox, you're true Orthodox, you're something else. So yeah, it's a problem both ways. Sunrise says most of the Go priests I saw in World Orthodoxy wore the Filioque collar. My old priest, another one, were an exception. And traditionally, we used to call that the dog collar. And so, because that's kind of what it reminded us of. Let me see here. And then John says, wait till we meet Ukrainian clergy under the EP. I've met a few. Let me see here. All right. So, once again, I'm going to switch that up. Support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on GiveSendGo. So, as I mentioned, I probably will not be doing a live stream next week because it's Pascha. So, you won't see me again until the 27th or something like that. I have no idea. God willing, we'll all see each other again by Thomas Sunday. Yeah, so I didn't expect it. I didn't expect Holy Week to have such an explosive beginning. But here we go. Here we are. And so what are you going to do? And let me just go back to that. And just click here. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So yeah, so let me see here. So again, this I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat it, but it's our live Q&A show, so anyone can come on, click on the link at the top of the chat, and can join the link and ask questions, make comments, make debate threats, make anything except maybe like once it gets nasty and personal, like it's been all weekend for some people, like anything but that, and it's basically allowed. You throw it out there, and you're free to. Oh no. Oh boy! For those who want to see Ghibli-style clergy, Padre Marco GSCA, right at L'Orthodoxy Giuliotri has one of them. So I saw it. I saw it. So yeah, that is it's a funny little style, but considering how, again, I believe the late founder of Studio Ghibli felt about AI, the absolute irony of people covering the internet with Studio Ghibli style imagery would make the poor man's grave turn. But in any case, what are you going to do? Okay, well, today was Palm Sunday, so of course, I hope everyone got their palms. If not, they'll be getting, God willing, they'll get their palms soon. If they have to make it to, if they can't only can make it to church next week, etc. John says, "Isn't Father Marco the priest in Italy?" I'm not sure if he's in Italy or Romania. But in any case, yeah. So let's see here. So, of course, questions, comments. This is what we're here for. If I don't have a thingy, I don't have a banner. I'm gonna have to make a banner. I guess that's one banner I can put. Okay, so let's go back here. Yeah. hmm yeah, he seems, he's very friendly, nice fellow. Okay, so let's take a look here again. It's yeah, it's I guess today is a pretty question free day. Okay, wait, we got a question. Sunrise, a serious question. I think the last time you said that the SIR had valid ordinations when ordaining Rokori clergy. Do you think they were a valid synod to join for their whole existence? If I'm going to be consistent, my answer is yes. I don't think. I think that the questions about their ordinations are kind of iffy. Only to like maybe like they were to the GOC Kalinikos, but they aren't anymore. Because they just kind of recognize them. And so this is one of the things that is it kind of is part of the discussion that Orthodox have around the world. And I think that my answer is going to be, excuse me, of the more liberal or left wing. I wouldn't even say left wing because I'm not left wing. I'm not liberal either. Welcome, Nicodemus.
How you doing?
Hi. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I was asked a question on the difference on, I guess, true Orthodoxy and
World Orthodoxy.
whatever. Yeah, I'm in America, so I don't still
Oh,
learning.
me too. What part?
I'm in Salt Lake.
Oh, you're in Utah. Ooh. Well, that's a tough place for Orthodox.
Yeah. We ended up in a Greek diocese, Holy Trinity.
Okay.
But yeah, I just heard you talking, and
hmm
I just never heard, because I left Protestantism a couple years ago, and I was just, as soon as I like started studying Orthodoxy, I just ran to the church.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was anything. So my question would be like, what's the difference? And in this, I guess, schismatic, whatever's going on,
hmm
does that separate the church in America away from the gifts and whatnot?
Well, I mean, again, that's it's kind of a loaded question. How long have you been Orthodox?
I got baptized uh, about this time last year.
Oh, wow. And they baptized you.
Yeah, it took a year to.
Well, I know, but I'm surprised. In many cases, many people especially in the Greek Archdiocese, weren't baptized from
Very
Protestants. They
true.
were received by chrismation, etc.
So the priest that he's actually a new priest that came in, Father Simeon,
Okay.
and he's very strong. There's two. It's kind of weird in our church because we have two churches. One's in Salt Lake because Greek was very high populated in the early 1900s in Salt Lake. So another church was then put in called Prophet Elias.
Okay.
So they brought in another priest, but he's new, but he's really zealous, and he's all about like sticking to the book. You need to be baptized, totally submerged underwater, like so. And I congratulate him on that because that's what I've read in the canons and whatnot.
That's the problem. Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So he ended up baptizing all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And the other priest we have was kind of like, we could probably not, but he ended up talking him into letting us be baptized. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to be baptized correctly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're first off, it's good that you found a priest that was willing to do the baptism and was willing to allow that. That is the proper canonical form. For us, for true Orthodox, you have to understand that for us, we consider like we have Greek dioceses in America that we recognize, and we don't recognize, say, the Greek Archdiocese, and they don't recognize us.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that we do disagree on, for example, is the reception of converts. All true Orthodox will generally baptize people out of Protestantism or Roman Catholicism. Since people in the Greek Archdiocese often don't get received that way, when they come to us, there's often the question of a corrective baptism. And that's something that's a controversy, I think, even in your own dioceses, etc. So the way it is to us, it's not coming from Protestantism. You may be used to denominationalism. That is not how we think at all. Orthodox, it's one or the other.
Right.
So to some degree, we would not recognize, like, for example, your bishop if he's committing ecumenism at all. We would just recognize our own. And so now people say, well, that seems cruel to do to all the people under the bishop. Well, we're not doing anything to the people under the bishop. If you've been baptized properly, you probably will just get chrismated because that's a repeatable thing.
Right.
But yeah, we still have to hold the leaders accountable. So what I would say to you is, I would say just keep investigating the matter further. The priest who baptized you and wanted to do things correctly, I highly recommend you consider getting him in touch with us or to other true Orthodox clergy. Many clergy are led into true Orthodoxy by their people. The conscience of the people wakes up the priest, and the priest realizes he needs to move. It happens all the time. So keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be like a big us versus them thing or anything like that. Focus on the truth of Orthodoxy and talk to your priest about what true Orthodoxy is. Maybe he doesn't know, or maybe he does. And then that'll lead to different questions. So that's what I would say. I would say if you're new in the church, as long as you are focusing on zealously guarding the faith, you won't go wrong. You found us. You got this far. You're talking to me, so I can just tell you there's like 100 true Orthodox parishes all over the country, dioceses, etc. That's its own investigation. Some are Russian, some are Greek. It's like the rest of America.
So my question also would be is, I'm a father of 3 and married, and so of course, a goal as a head of household is leading everyone in the right direction as to, like, when we take the Eucharist and whatnot, is it valid, or are we just like?
I mean, if you're asking me the hard question of whether your Eucharist is valid based on your bishop, I don't know who your bishop is.
And I guess another question to add on to that would be, as we've seen in the prior bishops coming together, like what type of council would come together to counsel out who's not and who's willing, who is able to still bestow the gifts and who's not to be able to?
Well, we're not so legalistic in the sense that we're focused on just who legally can perform the gifts. The question always has to be based on, is the bishop in question confessing the Orthodox faith? Are his priests confessing the Orthodox faith as he is? So questions of validity of the mystery, honestly, those are less relevant because God covers over confusion in situations. But you have to ask if the confession of your bishop is truly Orthodox.
Okay. And Yeah. So you know about the bishop in Colorado?
Gregory, you talking about Gregory of Colorado?
Constantine?
Constantine of Colorado. Don't know who that is. 1 second, please. Zelotus, God bless you. Holy Spirit. Constantine of Colorado, Bishop. Who is this? Is he Constantine of Sassima? Bishop Constantine. He's Greek Archdiocese. Unfortunately, the Greek Archdiocese is heavily infested with ecumenism.
Yeah.
I would strongly recommend reaching out to a true Orthodox Greek Synod. And I'm sure that I can try to give some assistance, but I would honestly suggest talking to your priest about it first. See if he how he feels about the true Orthodox. I mean, he may be very negatively disposed, and I'm just going to tell you that in advance. But you have to ask about ecumenism, Sergianism, modernism. If you're not asking those questions, because they're coming much more clear now, a lot of people are seeing them. Then you owe it to yourself and to your family to make sure that everyone has a proper confession of faith and is taught by people with a proper confession of faith.
So are you guys under Bartholomew or no?
No.
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of what he's been doing, and
we know the true Orthodox of Greece and Russia and the rest of the world do not recognize Patriarch Bartholomew.
So who would be your archdiocese?
I myself, I am under Metropolitan of New York, Metropolitan John LeBeau of New York of the Orthodox Metropolia. We're mostly known as being kind of a lesser known synod because we allow Western Rite. But I've been under Metropolitan John for going on 20 years. And he's a good bishop. He is in New Jersey, and I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's not that big of a drive for me. So those are considerations that you should make as well, because geography matters.
Yeah.
Debt to Compromise says, Nicodemus, it's a process. Don't feel bad. I was in World Orthodoxy for 2 years before looking into True Orthodoxy. That is very true. Let me see here. Zelotus, could be a blessing. John, wasn't Metropolitan Agafungal the chief consecrator, hence making the Rokor a clergy carry the apostolic succession of Rokor than the SIR? That's kind of a legalistic way to look at things, but I mean, the spirit of your comment is correct. He wasn't making bishops for Greece. Let me see here. So yeah, if you have more questions,
I appreciate you talking, and you got a crying baby that I got to attend to, and
not a problem. And it's already hard enough this Holy Week. May God bless you, and you have a great rest of your night. Okay.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Bye. Victor Vutrans, Path to Orthodoxy says, God bless you, Father Joseph. Happy Palm Sunday. Thank you, and likewise. Sunrise says, I left Goarch. My priest was more traditional, but that doesn't matter when the bishops are heretics. Hope you continue this search. God willing, he does. Yeah, definitely. So that was a good call. It was good. And anyone can call in. You can call in with your questions. It doesn't have to be so nice. If you want to challenge me, if you're hate watching this, just click the link at the top of the chat, man. You can do it. We're in the 45th minute of the first hour. Not sure how long this one's going to go. It will be the last Q&A until, God willing, Thomas Sunday. So you will not see me next week for Pascha. You might see me before that. Actually, I might put up something. I'll still be around. Why do I slowly, darkly feel like the possibility that there might be a stream next week would happen? I really, no. I am taking that Sunday off, people. Support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. So support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or Monero, or on Give and Go. And thank you to Elian, $10 in super chats, with a target today now at $4.90 for the week. Let's continue. What else have we got here? We had a good chat about what was going on in the world of the Orthobro explosion, I guess we can call it. And let me see here. Sunrise says, Father, I find it hard to believe the validity of SER when Metropolitan Cyprian was deposed by the GOC and Metropolitan Vitali said Roker going into communion with them was a mistake. I don't believe Metropolitan Vitali said Roker going into communion with them was a mistake. That sounds like revisionism. As for whether Metropolitan Cyprian was deposed by the GOC, even the GOC doesn't recognize that deposition anymore. But more importantly, the point is that a deposition when you're not a member of the synod doesn't make sense. That's like it's like declaring the Pope deposed. Sure, the GOC could do it, but who would care? Let me see here. Father, I'm not sure if I missed the part about your input on the Shamoun Dyer debate. Forgive me if I did, but what was your thoughts? Very simply, I think it has devolved into something really awful. It is now starting to filter out throughout the online Orthodox world. People asked about the possibility of the debate. I think it's at a real low, but it could also be marketing. It's just that kind of question. I think Sam's influence by William Albrecht has been largely negative. And William Albrecht and I had a few choice words for each other this past weekend on Twitter, leading to someone finding an old debate of ours, which I did put up on this channel last night. So my thoughts are, I think it's good. Frankly, I think the online Cathbro Orthobro fighting thing is good because both of them operate under relatively bad ecclesiological models, most represented by Chieti, which in truth, the Orthobros seem to like, and the Cathbros seem to like. But the problem is that it's not based on reality. There's a New Calendar priest, Father Victor Gatsopoulos, very well known, who wrote an entire debunking of the Chieti document. It is based on basically a larger version of the old Uniate model that you find in the canons of the Eastern Catholic churches. It's a setup for a union. So the problem is that nobody is calling that out because everybody likes the institutional framework behind it. And the problem is Orthodoxy doesn't work by institutions. It works by the confession of the true faith. So, in that sense, them fighting is probably good because at least some of them might come to the truth, because this peaceful, semi-ecumenical, you push and pull back and forth is just honestly looks designed to just bring them together into one false church. And so hopefully this wakes up a few of them to that. And the fact that there are liberal world Orthodox who think that the Orthobros are in fact sleeper true Orthodox, I have no problem inviting them to the true Orthodox. All right. So once again, let me see here. I probably still don't have the banner. Let me edit this one. I wonder if you guys can hear the clickety clacking. That's how loud my keyboard is and how noise sensitive my thingamabob is, my microphone. So yeah, it's a live Q&A stream. So if you want, you can just click on the link at the top of the chat. And if you have questions, comments about Orthodoxy, thoughts about Orthodoxy, or you don't like Orthodoxy and you want to tell me why I'm wrong, feel free. Thus, Metropolitan Synod, despite the absence of community victory, finds itself de facto. There is no Metropolitan Synod anymore. Well, despite the absence of community, let me see here. Is this I'm assuming this is Bishop Gregory Grabes, the dubious orthodoxy of Metropolitan Cyprian's group. Is that what we're quoting here, Sunrise? Against heresy, which was proclaimed by Rocor. Obviously, Gregory Grabes' opinion, Bishop Gregory's opinion was a good opinion, but it was rejected by the Synod. And they basically came to the conclusion that a lot of people, this is what Metropolitan Vitali signed. Yeah, that's the after the fact, under pressure from Father Victor Melahov and a few other people, Father Spiridon Schneider. He felt like I think he was pressured to believe the entire Synod was against union. Believe it or not, the Cyprianites, if I remember correctly, and I do, I just wish I had the documentation for it. I'd love to ask. They had a letter that they wrote to Metropolitan Brutality. I could swear on it. I'm sure of it. That where they said they would assist in the making of new bishops and in the making of helping reorganize the synod, just like they did with Metropolitan Agafangel in 2007. But it was like immediately rebuffed the next day by angry letters from clergy. Yeah, no problem, Sunrise. We welcome the questions. It's just that what I'm saying is I'm gonna push back because I remember that period well. I was marginally involved. Some of the ringleaders of what happened, I knew them. So yeah, it's that's why I'm saying I don't remembering what it was then tells me it wasn't like they're describing it now. Like they're describing it historically the way they wanted it to be then, but what they don't present is all the people who are opposed to them then. So it's just that's the trouble with history. It gets written by the winner, gets reviewed a generation later, and the truth comes out a generation after that. So it's not a dead topic to me. It's just that I know that a lot of the agendas of the people pushing certain topics and pushing certain viewpoints are not presenting the completeness of history. So that's where I am. If people mind the fact that I am yawning occasionally, it has been a long day for me. And it was, it's kind of wacky that way. We're in the 53rd minute of the first hour once again. If I can ask for your support, please support the channel. We at NFT need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on GiveSendGo. And let's see. Albert N says, "What are the Ortho Bros doing, Father?" Well, I don't know what they're doing right now. I don't live in Discord, so what I've seen is that a lot of people have gone off on Sam Shamoun. A lot of people, and frankly, he deserves it. And so, what's it called? It's there. The entire Orthobro world is going kind of insane over it, and many liberals in world Orthodoxy are now assuming that true Orthodox are in fact Orthobros, which is not the truth and false. And so I think it's hilarious that they're lumping us in with the Orthobros, and the Orthobros can't stand us. So I just think it's quality entertainment. What started the issue with Sam and Jay? That's a good question. It seems to have devolved from earlier this week. Where I don't know if it was Albrecht and Sam who started it. I think it was actually, and they started talking about Jay not being able to answer them. Of course, this was while Jay was having a live stream. A bunch of people told Jay what he said. So he's like, "Come on, have a real debate," so on and so forth. And this went back and forth and back and forth. I guess till about Thursday, where they tried to get Andrew Wilson of the Crucible to be a moderator for a debate, which I thought was a great idea. I think he's a very, very patient man, a very good moderator. Then Sam started talking about Jay Dyer's wife and hoping for his marriage to end, and that's a pretty low blow. And so, yeah. And Slava True says Dyerites have been waiting for Dyer to attack Sam since he said he was going Catholic. Well, they have been wanting that, but they haven't had a reason to. But until then, when Sam brought up Jay's wife, which of course made Andrew bring up Sam's ex-wife, who then started saying horrible things about Andrew's wife. I mean, the point is, first off, Sam has been kind of vulgar for many years. There are a number of even people that I know personally who have sent me recordings of Sam where he's just cursing people out to the nth degree. So yeah, I mean, this is not new, but it is visibly high profile. Justinus says, been working through Zernikov. Are there any recent works that back up what he's saying regarding Forge Filioque text? Sometimes you will see in some of the works that he touches on, if you look in critical editions, they'll reference Zernikov's work. So many people are finding this even now, even though that work is so old. Sunrise says, why would Sam want to debate Jay? My understanding is that Sam thinks World Orthodox and Monophysites and Papists are all valid. You have to understand that again, a lot of this is the influence of William Albrecht, who pretends to be a standard ecumenist when in fact he is a very papal ecumenist and wants everyone under Rome. Okay, and like Cybercrapper and Albert, okay. Slay by Truth says Sam is nuts. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate to have to say that, but yeah, there's something there. It's not all there, unfortunately. And again, anyone can call. This is a live Q&A stream. It'd be really funny if not. That won't happen, guys. We're too small. Bless you. So in any case, but let's see here. So what else is going on? Let's see. But yeah, so mostly it's just been chaos. Some of it playing out on Twitter, some of it playing out on YouTube. And yeah, it's been wacky. And somehow, you know, I got my little foot in the corner of it because Albrecht and I have our own little problem. We got our own beef. We got our own beef. You know what I'm saying? We got our own beef. Anyway, once again, support the channel. We at NFT need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFT.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on Give Send Go. And I will say this now, okay? I've been here almost an hour, okay? So getting close, you know. I'm gonna have to close the doors. We're gonna have to close the doors, guys. I'm gonna close the doors. There's at least 50 of you here, so I need to make $2,000. That's like $40. Come on, I'm closing the doors. Okay. For the record, those who don't know, there was some Protestant who did that. I do not actually. First off, I lack the ability, being online, to close any of your doors. So let me see here. Yeah, Simon and Jay are debating. Father Joseph walks in with a mic drop. Yeah, that would be funny. First off, neither of them are alive. If any of them were like, are you trying to be Fedru Shilson now? No, I'm not trying to be. How dare you? How dare you? You don't insult that. You don't insult Andrew. Andrew's like, he's like a son to me. He's not like a son to me. Okay. Let me see here. But yeah, I mean, unless there's like a stream we should try to chase down, should try to challenge. Anything live going on right now? I mean, we're going on an hour. We're 30 seconds to an hour. And I feel like if the challengers shall not come to us, then we must go to the challengers. All right. So let me see here. Challenge a Western Rite World War. Okay, that would just be so sad. Plus, on top of that, they're never online. Father Joseph, if it's possible, I could call you later this week. If it's possible, I wouldn't want to rush you into it. John, you don't have to ask. I think you have my number. If you don't, ask Sava and just leave me a message. And if when I have time, I'll reach you. Let me see here. You need to go to Fedru's grifting. You got to stop dissing on Andrew, okay? You got to stop it. Cybercrapper says, debate Jasmine Theodora. Stop. I don't debate women. I don't generally talk to women. I have one. I don't need another one. Adrian says, I asked a former UK ambassador to Russia about contact with True Orthodoxy. Why would you talk to them? He talked about the Patriarch of Moscow. I humiliatingly interrupted, and I said, no, the True Orthodox Christians are Orthodox. Yeah, don't waste your time with the ambassadors. Just you can reach out to them directly. You just go to Russian internet, artpass.ru, for example, for ROAC, or epc.com.ru for our synod, our true Russian Orthodox synod. In all honesty, yeah, they have phone numbers there. You can skip right past. You might have to speak a little Russian because often they don't have a guy in the monastery who speaks English. Sometimes they do. Sunrise says we'll fly you to Russia to debate an old believer. Just to have them do it online. Okay, thank you, VP Instant Thank you. Thank you. A donation of $40 on Cash App, and we really appreciate it. Excuse me while I update for the week. So let's go. This is great. Thank you so much. And we can now drop the target to $450 for the week. So I don't have to close the doors. Not yet. But you got the rest of you, Vizhigorov, for Rokana's Russian bishop, if that's one. Conrad Kup says the Orthobro priest that is in charge of AFR took off the last remnants of anything good. Glad I found this channel. Oh yeah, well, we're TFR, we're True Faith Radio. So yeah. But in any case, yeah. So like, I don't know who that priest is, but I know that AFR has been a sinking ship for years. Everyone's known it. It's when your main claim to fame is causing controversy because you're hosting something really awful and heterodox. That's a shame. Albert Ayrton says, "Is Andrew Wilson a hood gem?" I don't know what that is, but I will look it up sometime. John says, "Can we get someone to debate Lourier?" Why? My view is Lourier is a sinking, self-destructive platform on his own. I don't want to bother. I have too much negative to say about the man. Debate Father Andrew Theodora. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Cybercrafter says, debate Dade Murphy. Who is Dade Murphy? Are these real people? Are these? I'm going to find out. It's time for us to go to YouTube. Let's find out. Dade Murphy. Is this a real thing? Dade Murphy. Huh. It does come up. Oh, this guy? What does this guy do? What does this guy do? This guy is like... So is he like a Satanist? Like his whole point is atheist, communist, activist. What does he do? He just seems like very edgy. Let me click his channel. Dade Murphy is reading. Excuse me. Aaron Ra, Chris Ray. So is he like an angry atheist guy? Let me see. Yeah, debate Dave Chappelle. I can't do that. I'm pretty sure he's not available for regular debates. DTC says new meme on DTC, YouTube, and X. Okay, cool. Let's take a look and see if we find it. Oh my. Well, that's something. That's it's a Ghibli. It's a Ghibli picture. I don't know how they do it. I don't know the magic that they use, but it seems to be that is what Joel is talking about. And there it is. He lip syncs metal songs. Okay, that doesn't sound like someone I'm going to debate with. Dade Murphy does lip sync TikToks. Yeah, and atheist people. LOL. Debate death to compromise. I don't think I can debate death to compromise. That's like the Batman family fighting each other. You can't do that. It doesn't work. ChatGPT does the best Studio Ghibli. Okay, all right. Well, now we've seen it. So you want to debate Father Joseph? I debate myself. There's no one left to debate on this mountain. I got to debate me. All right, now come on. Come on, people. Somebody's got to want to call in. What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? All right, so let's take a look and let's see here. Oh, okay. All right, so I've updated the banner, so I do want to put that on the stream. I'm going to remove from stage. Okay. So yeah, thank you for that one more time. VP, thank you for that. Father Joseph versus Cyborg Father Joseph. Debate Father Michael living Orthodox he has good takes and never has a bad attitude due to his guilty conscience. Yeah, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. I the people yeah, that it was funny because that video that we did where we were reviewing his video and he'd gotten all skinny and stuff. Like after the video was over, I got told like a little more of what happened to him. Yeah, I'm not touching this stuff. I don't think he should be doing what he's doing. Um, I can debate, but it has to be in the chat because I have the smoker robot voice thing and it doesn't pick up on microphone. Okay, that's fair. Father Ozempic. Yeah, somebody replied, said I should use some Ozempic today. Yeah, you can keep on asking me to debate this Jasmine chick, but I don't care. I don't debate. I don't generally debate women at all, and there's no reason to. They can send their husbands. In any case, let me see here. Debate the chat GPT facsimile of your personality that I made. Don't even know what that's supposed to mean. But anyway. All right. So here we are. We're at we're at the 7th minute of the second hour. Really appreciate that. Atomic Lead says LOL3. Yeah, well, thank God. But we'll see. We will see. What else? What else have we got going on here? Yeah. So I know, first off, I don't know if you've seen the Orthodox Standard Journal. Father Simeon runs that. He's actually written a couple of good articles. So you wanna check that out. Sunrise says we will clone you and make an Orthobro version. It's impossible. It's impossible. Orthobros are already great value zealots. Yet I am a son of zealots. So to them, they're just the Walmart brand. We're craft. All right. So, with that said, let's take a look here and see if anyone wants to jump on. Anyone can call in. Remember that if you have questions, comments, you wanna fight, um, I'm okay with that as long as you realize it's my show, so you might lose. Yeah, Ortho Bros are the great value zealots. Debate father resident sleeper. Whatever happened to that guy? I think he turned his thing to like Doomerdoxy. Um, or he was I mean he's not a bad kid. I don't know that he has any great love for me after that debate from 2 years ago. Probably not. But he didn't strike me as a bad guy. Um, you know, you don't know the canons of 869 Shake 'em Head. Yeah, that was a sad moment. That was truly a sad moment. Hey, oh well, it happens. But we haven't. We were still waiting for the grand finale. We need the biggest, baddest true Orthodox, world Orthodox debate ever, and I don't know that it's going to happen. I think they're afraid of us at this point. Debate Grok, LMAO. You don't have to debate Grok. You can just reteach Grok, and then it says what you want. Debate black people. What's wrong with you? I mean, are they heterodox black people? Are they like? I don't just debate people because of what. That's just no. Can't believe that debate was 2 years ago. Yeah, I know. Time flew. Time flew. We are close to. Actually, I may check this. Hold on. I may check this. I want to check real quick. My channel real quick and go to live. And I just want to see. Give me a second. Mhm. I am still scrolling through all of our long videos we had. We've been around a while. Uh-huh. Okay, so this was 2 years ago, even though it says 1 year ago. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting real close to the magic 2 year mark. Oh, hey, that's an idea. Debate Ryan Maya on your relation to Seth Rogen. Okay. Comrade Father Joseph will debate Uncle Ruckus. What? What? John stole mine. Perfect moment on to click debate black people. What? Debate a blue-haired Starbucks employee. What? Read posts on RX or that wow, that sounds interesting. Now go to our Orthodox Christianity. Justina says, I wouldn't wish reading Reddit on my worst enemies. Comrade Lightswitch says, debate Anne Frank. Reconquista says, I'm here. The Machine Lies says, debate the ghost of Jax Lul. What? Reconquista says, how long have we been on here? Well, I don't know how well we've been on. I mean, if you mean this chat, it's been like an hour. Cybercrafter says, debate a teenager who just learned about Julius Evola. Oh no. That's too much. DTC says, LOL, TML. Sunrise says, debate white people. Guys, I feel like the debate Lee Harvey Oswald. Okay, come on, guys. Come on. You guys are acting like you have nothing to do. Yeah, what's going on with Orthobro? Yeah, they're just going nuts because of the whole debate Sam Hyde. I would probably debate Sam Hyde. I think that'd be interesting. Debate Albert N. on Renee Guignon. Debate Huey Long. Okay, all right. Okay, so debate Carrot Hawk. He will wreck you. You don't even have props. I have props. I got loads of props. I can take on a Carrot Top. I'm not afraid of Carrot Top. All right. Okay, folks. Come on. Let's see here. Let's see what we can find on the YouTube. It's time to scroll. And let's see. We're going to go to what's live. And we're going to share it. Oh, man. Stuff doesn't look that good. Here, I'll just put on the YouTube. Here we go, guys. We're going to look for YouTube. Ryan Maya says, no debate Sam Shamoon. He's not, I don't even know if he's live. And what would I even say to him? I'd just be like, why are you so rude? And he'd be like, you know what? Screw you and your mother. Click. I'd be like, God. So, like, I don't know. I don't think so. There you go. Debate with David Erhan would actually, no, wouldn't David Erhan try to block me from public debate? He isn't going to change. He doesn't want to do that. He's a deplatforming type. He's the guy that don't let him on anywhere. Yeah, no. Find these Roblox church services, but I'm not in Roblox, guys. I'm not in Roblox. Let me see here. That stream is live now. What stream is live now? Hold on. What stream are you talking about is live now? David Erhan is very dumb. Father, how do we get you on the whatever podcast? Never. You don't get me on the whatever podcast because that will end my marriage. I think it would end the marriage of many people. I applaud the resilience of the gentlemen who have been on that podcast, but putting up an old man against a panel of young, as the kids say, 304s, or 403s. I don't know what it is. The point is that that's an invitation for trouble. It's wrong. I wouldn't do it. It's Comrade Light said, I'm still true Orthodox, and I just can't make sense of the canonicity of any given synod. I would go to the churches and start asking the bishops hard questions. Conrad Cope says, debate Nathan Lee Lewis. I don't know that I'd debate him. I felt bad for him. I was very sympathetic when he left our synod and he went to the ROCOR MP, and then he discovered the whole abuse thing. I've spoken to him once or twice. I spoke to him once or twice after he left us. I'm sad that he apostatized from Orthodoxy, but I wouldn't be hard on him for it. Considering what he went through, I can see why that happened. But I talked to him. Yeah, I have no problem with talking to him. Father, did Watcha did watch Divine Mercy Apologetics comparison between Lumen Gentium and Palamas's views on Muslims? I haven't. I can try to pull it up. First off, automatic priority, Justinus for $15. Thank you so much for helping keep the lights on. And so I will add you to the banner. And let's see here. And that brings the target total down to $435. Thank you for helping keep the lights on here. Let me see here. Yeah, this is George 83. See the stream. Atheist versus Theist Showdown. Call Forrest Valkai and Al Aaron Adair Sunday show after dark. That's really that's a catch-all for me, unfortunately. We have a rule in our house, which is, generally speaking, I do not debate past 11. I do not get on calls past 11. I do not get on shows past 11. Once you say the magic after dark, which usually kind of means after midnight somewhere, there's a good chance I can't make the debate. So sorry about that one. Albert N says, oh, Chris Dabrowski says, debate a Siegel. Albert N says, Minecraft stream. I'm tempted to. My son has a Minecraft server. I'm sure other people I know do. I just gotta put in the $25 to buy a membership. Let me see here. The first few minutes are pointless, but once they actually start going into Lumen Gentium, it's actually interesting. Let me take a look. Who is Divine Mercy Apologetics? Okay. Oh, Lord. He has a show scheduled with Albrecht. In 15 minutes, guys. Like, I'm not, I wish I was kidding. I'm not. I could just show you. Hold on. This is literally like gonna be his stream in like a few. Like, he's literally putting William Albrecht on. It's like, are y'all wanting a fight between me and Albrecht? Because I mean, he looks ready to throw hands in this Studio Ghibli picture. What's this? Oh, Mark Komoski, thank you for keeping the lights on. $2. Says YouTube Q&A line is live now. Well, first off, thank you for the super chat. So I will mark that. And then I'll take a look. Give me a second. That brings us down to 433 for the week. And let's take a look at what Q&A line is. David Daniels says, I could care less about his live. I am interested in his views on Palamas, though. Okay, so let me just see if I can find the video you're talking about. Yeah, okay, doobie. Okay, so this was yesterday. Lumen Gentium, according to Palamas. Palamas didn't talk about Lumen Gentium, so this is already a false premise. 2 hours. No, not today. Maybe I will do that later on this week. But again, I'm really not sure how to say Lumen Gentium according to Palamas from St. Gregory. Palamas didn't have anything to do with that. David Daniel, $10. Thank you for that, for helping keep the lights on. Allow me to update the banner. Hold on. So I will update that. And then I'm going to look at that Q&A live now link, and we'll take a look at that. I don't do on my live streams. I don't review videos that are longer than 15 minutes. If I can, I'll try to take the time to do it later on in the week. But let's see here, and we'll go back to the comments. Q&A line. What is Q&A line? Let's find out. The line. Q&A line. Atheist versus this thing's going on right now. Okay. Well, what are they doing?
And us perceiving the universe is the definition of a subject experience.
Okay, so we perceive the universe through our own mind. Is that right?
What?
Yes, there's no other way to do it.
So there is an inherent reality in the universe, correct?
That's not at all. How did you? Genuine question, Richie. How did you get there from what you just said? We just agreed the universe objectively exists outside of our.
Okay, so before we go any further, Cybercrapper says there's a Protestant dude called the Christian King who goes live sometimes with stupid arguments against Orthodoxy. Might be worth tracking him down. About 2 weeks ago, Cybercrapper, when we did our 6-hour stream, you can actually see that I think like about almost right before we debated the other guy for like 2.5 hours, we attempted to get into the Christian King's podcast. He put me in a green room on StreamYard and never put me on the show. So we were like, whatever, this is a joke. Let's see here. I don't think I can handle any more Protestants after the last few. Debate Malankara monophysite Indians. We have a debate going with a Copt. I think that should be good enough to start, and that's in May. Sunrise, try Indian street food. All right. For the line, one has to call in and get on the queue. Oh boy. That one Protestant 2 weeks ago was crazy. LOL. So what is the argument? What are these guys arguing?
Our minds, and then we.
So there is something real, correct?
Yes, that's the first thing we agreed on, and we've agreed on it like 17 times now.
Okay, so that's what my whole point was. There is something real in this universe. That's all.
Right.
I wanted to say.
And that thing that is universally existent is the universe, not any kind of consciousness.
Consciousness or the universe or the reality or Brahman or
no,
whatever.
You can't, because consciousness is a different thing than those things. So if you call those things consciousness, it doesn't make any sense.
So there's this thing called call into.
Is there anything continuous in all those three states of dreaming, sleeping, and awake? Is there anything which is continuum that exists?
Yes.
That exists when you dream, that exists when you are in deep sleep, and that exists when you are awake.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what these guys are talking about. Yeah,
that's
these guys
what
got the front of
reality.
So
that's all from my side now.
You got them to admit.
I just want to refresh everybody.
To admit
we got to this point because I asked you, how can I know if a universal consciousness exists? And you said you just have to know if you're conscious or not. And now we're here, which is, do brains make dreams and does reality exist? What the fuck is happening?
What is he talking about?
Please, keep your calm.
I am very calm. I'm confused and frustrated. Pick up the phone or don't. What is this? It has to be a joke. Like, this has to be a prank call.
This feels like a prank call.
I think Richie might have answered the other phone.
Yeah. I apologize. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to put this on pause while we kind of figure out, okay, yeah, they're pretty bad on the line. Richie, he, him, oh my, yeah, what the heck is that? Are they going to ask for my pronouns? Because I'm going to give them some pronouns, all right. Did you already talk about the new Vatican Catholic video, Eastern Orthodox deception about the papacy exposed, dealing with the Ubi Petrus debate? I did not. I did not know that they are that interested in the world of Ubi Petrus, etc. I always thought they were dismissive towards the Orthodox, but maybe they're starting to get desperate. On the line, one can bring a topic, and I argued morality requires an absolute arbiter, and they fell apart quick. Yeah, okay, then that's I don't know how a call with me would go. That is interesting. Obviously, someone found that funny. Sunrise, someone's phone's ringing. Yeah, this is Frontimo's beauty. Okay, so we're gonna give these guys about 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna look for something else. Unless everyone agrees that they want me to call in.
It's like I'm arguing with like an AI bot, just for fun, just to see if we can, knowing everything we have just covered for the past 31 minutes. How do I determine whether or not this universal consciousness actually exists? And I swear to Glob, dude, if you just tell me that all I have to know is that I'm conscious, I'm just going to move on to the next call.
I swear to Glob.
No.
Oh.
You agreed that there is something which is a continuum in all these three states of dreaming, waking, and sleeping. That is the universal consciousness. The thing that is consistent between all of those things is just brain activity. Chemical synapses. Are you telling me that neurotransmitters are the universal consciousness?
All right, I'm going to do it, guys.
How do you know that they are neurotransmitters?
I'm going to do it.
Oh my.
The cheeseburger. A meat patty with one or more.
What?
Oh, dude. We covered this.
You know these things only when you are awake. You are not aware of these things when you are sleeping.
And now we're...
All right. I pressed the button. So here we are. Call the show The Line. Your name. Enter pronouns. Okay. And that would be Father Joseph. Pronouns would be bada bing. And location Northeast PA. Okay, I need to shorten it by 1. Okay, and okay, guys, what's my question? What is the question gonna be? Oh, okay, let's see. Father Joseph, you can't keep torturing yourself with these random debates. LOL. I'm worried about you, Justina. Barnold says, hello, Father Joseph. Sunrise says, please don't. Father, I'm sorry. They use pronouns. Debate over. Nonsense person says, debate mukbang YouTubers on gluttony. Debate Jordan Peterson on whether he's doing a fake voice or not. I don't know. These two have never been to a Buckethead show. Then you'll know consciousness. Oh, boy. Debate Walt Washer on whether or not the crying is desperate, genuine. Debate them on OLED flashlights. All right, guys. If you guys give me a question, I will enter it. If you do not give me a question, I will drop this one. And we are, just a reminder, we are at 29 minutes, going on 30 minutes into the second hour. I don't know what to debate. I don't know either. I mean, these guys, they have one atheist guy, one theist guy. They sit there and, well, they're atheists. So they would just be like, I don't know. I mean, I could. Debate them on how do you know your moral framework exists. That's okay. Why not? I'm going to go with that. We'll go with that. We'll go with it. Okay. How do you know your moral framework exists? Submit request. All right. Your request has been queued. Click the ready button to confirm. When a slot is available for you to connect to the show, an audible alert will play and you will be prompted to connect with show button. You have 10 seconds to click that button and authorize your browser to access your microphone. Go.
Ready to connect. Click connect to show now.
Okay.
Thank you for calling the line. You will soon be connected to the call screened.
You may listen to the show while waiting. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on with the host.
Calling in from Cavernous Asshole, who said, and this is what it says on the call screen, slavery in the Bible is acceptable in context. David, you're on the line with Forrest and Aaron. How are you doing today?
Hi. We actually discussed this before. Remember you were saying how that God allows or wants slavery, or, in the Old Testament?
I don't remember because I talk to a dozen people a week. David, I'm just going to start with this, and then I'll move, because I know I was talking a lot the last call. I just, really quickly, just jumping ahead of all of it, please give me the exact context under which slavery is acceptable.
Well, what I wanted...
Hello, Father Joseph.
Hi.
Bada bing. How are you?
I'm okay.
That's awesome. So, Father Joseph,
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry to interrupt, but am I supposed to be hearing this, or was there some error?
I think everything's fine. I was just waiting to call in. Hello?
now I'm talking to two people at once. Why don't you sort out who you are?
I know I am.
and
I'm
which
Father
person-
Joseph.
Yeah, great. Well, call in on a phone line, Father, and we'll talk to you later, okay? Sound good?
Oh no, I
guess.
don't think it's something on his end that's an issue. This is Walter. We just spoke a moment ago.
Huh?
Oh, dear. Oh, well, wait a second. Father Joseph, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Apparently I'd pushed the wrong button at the wrong time.
Oh, okay.
So, Dad,
Dad?
why don't you call back in on a phone, okay?
Okay. I will go locate one in these mean streets of Northeast PA, and I'll dial in with some quarters.
Right.
Thank you.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Bada Bing.
Bada bing. What in the? What was that? Hey, Dad? Dad? Well, son, if you really need me to use a hardwired phone line, I'll just have to go find some quarters. Like, what? All right. This is the quality of moderation we have now on live call-in programs. And they're like, and you got to use a rotary phone. Who does this? This is the modern universe, guys. We got to get on them debate calls and get on our rotary phones and yeah, well, it did work, Mark. He did connect, and he even made some snide comments about me having to use a phone. I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I mean, I know I'm old. He got mad because of my pronouns were bada bing. He was like, what? Sunrise, you want to debate me? Come right on and debate me. I don't know what you're going to debate me on. Yeah, Father Boniface, I know it's called screening, but the guy's like, he got mad and started calling me Dad. And like, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't take his pronouns seriously. He doesn't take my being a clergy seriously. Yeah, that's obvious. They didn't want to talk to me, but the idea of calling in on a phone line to me was just like, if you're on YouTube, you have other choices. Yeah, Mark Kanoski says they're rookies. Yeah, but they didn't want to talk to me though. That's true. It was disrespectful, and I saw no reason to be respectful back. They were just being stupid. But hey, that was fun. I've already offered to debate on Gwenon. Well, you didn't actually. I thought you said have an edgy teenager talk about Gwenon. I didn't realize you were the edgy teenager. I mean, you're always free to call in. They're cramming before the debate, and waiting for you to rejoin. Huh, coward? Yeah, I'm not chasing, grabbing my cell phone and dialing it in. Sunrise says, name a topic and I'll debate. Okay. So then it wasn't you then, Albert. You want to debate? I mean, Sunrise, I don't want to just debate anything. The purpose of apologetics is to bring people to Christ. It's not just to debate anything. So even with those guys, I would have probably wanted to understand what their, criterion for morality is, to talk to them about God and Jesus Christ. Reconquista says, Father, first off, thank you for helping the stream, helping the channel, and keeping things, keeping the lights on. Father, I live in a building full of Russians. What's the most charitable way to tell them we live in America, learn English? Probably, probably something to the effect of, in Russia, I would learn Russian. That's what people said to me over there. A lot of people just said, "Come on, please learn Russian," and I'd be like, "Okay, I'll try harder." That was actually a funny story. When I was going to the church in St. Petersburg, there, one of the little old ladies who, she had actually experienced a little of like the catacomb in Soviet exist. Wow, John, the most charitable way is by calling ICE. Okay, I was trying to tell a nice, friendly story here, and you're just like, call the cops on them. That's it. Send them back. Build the wall. Big Sosa, God bless you in the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit. Someday I hope to find something to debate about you sometime. You don't always have to debate me. Sometimes you can just agree with me. Sometimes you can send me super chats. Oh, you already did that. Thank you. Debating is for fun and to make people mad. I thought, no. The whole goal is we want to help people. I hope. I think Socrates said that. Yeah. I will start offering Russian lessons for us, Father. My Russian's not that good. But my point was that when I was, going to church in St. Petersburg, there was this one little old lady who had been through the Soviet period and stuff. And it was funny because every time I saw her and I talked to, Father Alexei in English. And, and then eventually she'd just be like, "Paruski, pожалуйста," please, Russian. And there was, it would been, that went on. And I learned Russian on the streets because I was cool like that. And then basically, I'd been there it was right before I left Russia, too. I was at church a couple of weeks before I left. And, I was offering my opinion. People were wondering about a new guy who came by from the Moscow Patriarchate. And I assumed he was a Luriate spy. And I said as much. And everyone was quiet for a second. And then a little old lady who was just like, "Oh, his Russian's so good now." And I was like, yeah. They thought I'm an idiot, but at least I speak good Russian. But anyway, yeah. So Sunrise says, ban John for some. No. From Municipality says, thank you for debating with me. Denise says, ask them to teach you Russian and you teach them English. Aha. Cybercrapper says, debate Fronoma Municipality on the Fronoma. Rah. I don't know. I heard he's an expert. Albert N says, Spanish only stream. I can't do that yet. I just mentally feel like I cannot do that yet. It just would be weird. It'd be weird. Fronoma Municipality says, who's going to debate my Fronoma? I don't debate Fronomas, man. I just don't. I usually host Twitter Spaces regularly. Haven't done so during Lent. You're always welcome on my Spaces, Father. Well, if I get a chance, I will try. Do you agree thoughts are deeds? And then how do you reconcile the two sons? I don't think thoughts are deeds. Thoughts are changeable. Deeds are not. But the two sons, I'm not sure what you're talking about. So clarify a little bit further, Mark. Sunrise, I'm not new and shareable. I'm sorry. Sunrise, American only stream. Cybercrapper debate Guatemalans. Okay. All right, guys. We're now in the 40th minute of the second hour. And so, no, I don't debate any women. Why am I going to debate Mexican? What's wrong with you? Thank you for your donation. Super chats, Ilion, 10, Justinus, 15, Mark 2, David, 10. PayPal, Cash App, VP, $40. Target for the week is 423. Whatever you can do to help is much appreciated. Father, what's the fastest way you learned Russian? I read a little bit of the Berlitz book. Before I went to Russia, I carried around a pocket English to Russian dictionary. If you can speak Spanish or Italian or any Romance language, one thing to remember is that Russian they love talking about case. I just mumbled through case. The reality is people still understand you. but conjugation of nouns and verbs. If you can conjugate the nouns and verbs, because the parallels to Spanish, Italian, etc., are very similar. Memorize the alphabet and conjugation, and then dictionary and phrase book. And that's about it. Albert N says, debate me on conjugation. That's not real. Victor Voutran says, I got to do my thermal homework, Father. I'll see you next stream. Bless, Father. May God bless you. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Cybercrapper says, debate American college students on abortion. Bring them on. Let's define our terms, please. Okay? That's exactly what debating on conjugation is. John, I know French. I guess it should be easy for me in that case. In theory, it should. Russian is much more phonetic than French, however. Keep that in mind. Fronomy Municipality says, debate Jews. Well, where are they to debate? Did you know that, Rick and Keith, did you know that Hitler escaped to Argentina and died taking a dump listening to ancient faith radio? All right, that was good only because I was like, oh, this is really annoying. And then that surprise ending was very good. Technically, that's Atomic Lead says, technically, that's every stream. Just Sunrise says, is there any Jews online debating? Oh, no, I don't think so. Gubba Nub Nub Duraka. Still don't know what that means. Don't quote me on this, but I think concupiscence equals sin is related to thoughts versus deeds. Is concupiscence itself sin, and it's the reformed position that it is. Big Sosa says, I'd like to see more true Orthodox and World Orthodox conversations without the unnecessary bickering, and I do good at it, being a benevolent dictator of a host, so no spurging. Hey, if any of them are interested, we're here, and I'll even let you host. Albert N says, high places. Cybercrapper says, what do you think about Wall of Voodoo's hit song Mexican Radio? I don't have too many thoughts. It's got a pretty good beat. It's got a catchy little chorus. I'm on a Mexican radio, but it was an all right song. It was Albert N, South Park Mexican also. I don't know what that means. Mark Kamoski says, how can one reconcile don't put your light under a bushel versus go to a private room to pray? Because you can manifest Christ and the light of Christ through your deeds and don't have to show off how super pious you are. Not the Orthodox one. When can we get Reader John to debate Father Joseph? I don't think Reader John wants to debate Father Joseph. I don't. Why you want to start fights between friends versus DTC, who's part of the whole Batman family, and now you want to get me to no. Sunrise says, choose too busy digging under tunnels in NYC. Oof. Nonsense things as high. Gubbanub. I'm just going to stop at Gubbanub. Light under a bushel seems like good works and not public shows of prayers, but I'm not question answer, man. I'm dumb. Okay, same. Conrad Kep says, I grew up in a church that said thoughts and deeds were the same and all sins were equal. Took years to deprogram that. Yeah, that can kind of mess you up. Father, would you debate Peter Griffin? Absolutely not. He's an idiot. Cybercrapper, what about King Crimson? I didn't know he was into debate. I think I like one or two songs on his thing. Cybercrapper says you should have a debate on prog rock. With who? They're all dead. Sunrise says, let Reader John out of the basement. I can't. He's still eating the hummus. Cybercrapper says, debate Hank Hanegraaff. He will not debate me. There's like people who will debate me who have means, and then there's people who have the big mansions who just already see all of us as nothing, as like ants. Father, what do you think for the transcendental argument for God? I think it is an incomplete, it's useful, but an incomplete argument for the existence of God. I think that there's quite a few different ones that if you put them together can become pretty good. Frontima Municipality says, debate VTubers. I don't know what that is. David Daniel says, I understand watching the videos too long. If you have access by the Triads by Paulus, can you take a look at 1118 on 1120? I would love to get your view on it. Let me see if I can find the Triads. Why not? And I guess we'll go into. Hold on. Okay. Oh, that was fast. Okay. Because Google doesn't care much about copyright anymore. All right, so let's continue. Okay, flaw 1118. All right, let's share that. All right, so let's read this through. By examining the nature of sensible things, these people, who is he talking about with these people? All right, that's a footnote. I gotta know who he's talking about. What's the concept? What's the context? Oh, this is gonna be a pain. I can already feel it. Give me a second. The first question, 118. Okay, so now we're gonna have to take this. We're gonna have to open it in a second page, and we're gonna have to find the footnotes. 113, it says, supposedly. All right, so all right. Okay, so now that we have that all up, I do apologize. Okay, you guys are coming up on all right, so by examining the nature of sensible things, these people have arrived at a certain concept of God, but not at a conception truly worthy of him and appropriate to his blessed nature. For their disordered heart was darkened by the machinations of the wicked demons who were instructing them. For if a worthy conception of God could be attained through the use of intellection, how could these people have taken the demons for gods? And how could they believe the demons when they taught man polytheism? Now, it's worth noting he is talking, I had to look up these people. He's talking about the ancient philosophers themselves, not the 14th century their 14th century disciples. Rational man have been led to the fundamental error of polytheism, proves the possession of reason does not itself suffice as right ideas of God. Okay. And so, in this way, wrapped up in this mindless and foolish wisdom and unenlightened education, they have calumniated God, both God and nature. They've deprived God of his sovereignty. They have ascribed the divine name to demons, and they've gone so far from finding the beings, the object of their desire and zeal, as to claim that inanimate beings have a soul and participate in a soul superior to our own. They even believe the demons are superior to us, so on and so forth. Are we then to say that those hold such a philosophy possess the wisdom of God? No, I would say, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, so what's wrong with it? Like, what's the question? Close this. Let me see. All right, so I don't see anything that's it seems to be very cut and dry. Basically, he's saying that the Greek philosophers were useful, but came to very terrible conclusions, and that it required the incarnation for them to be illuminated. Cybercrapper, what about Jeff Durbin or James White? James White owes me a debate now for 20 years, and he already said on Twitter, I think you're a nobody, so I'm not going to pay him. So, whatever. Oh, who was your favorite 90s rapper? Because of the fact that Sticky Fingers did interact with me on my Soccer Deacon account, I will have to say rappers, and it would be Onyx. Father Dimitri says, Father, I will debate you on prog rock. Give me a couple of years to prepare. Debate the Yo Mama guy. I don't know who that is. Dimitri says, they call me the prodigy. I'm gonna assume you don't mean the singer. Debate the prodigy on whether or not he's the fire starter. Okay, that was funny. Yeah, depending on which version you access. Okay, I hope that helped. Maybe debate Jay Dyer. He will not debate. Jay Dyer will not debate us. William Albrecht is live, you think? Yeah, but I don't think you can call him up. What are we going to do? We're going to be like, what are we going to do? You know? We're going to be like, hey, what's up? and he'll be like, I don't like you. You got to get off the phone. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm here though, right? I'm here. And they're going to be like, get him off the phone. That's how that'll end. But I mean, I can try. Thoughts on Jay Dyer and Sham Shampoo? Oh, the fact that I just realized they both sound like they have hair products. And what? Is someone calling me? No. Debate Young Penitent on rap music. I don't know that I'd debate him on rap music. I don't think he'd be interested. What does the Council of Blackerney mean when it refers to the Spirit as manifesting eternally through the Son? What it means is that he manifests through the Son throughout time, because he interacts in time with the Son. John, debate me on raw milk versus raw almond milk. Okay, that's not a fair debate with anyone. Cybercrypt, debate sunrise on cocktail. No. Sunrise, debate me on pilk. Yeah. Okay. David Daniel, 118 is in regards to polytheists. 20 gets into monotheists with distorted views on God. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, he's basically, let me see here. Standing persists in the glorification. Well, he is still basically arguing that there's really limited utility to philosophy here. I mean, saying basically that even a snake has, useful venom is not exactly a ringing endorsement of Greek philosophy. Debate a doctor. You know what kind, says Cybercrapper. No, I don't know what kind. Did you know that? I don't know what kind, and that's too bad. They made green creeper milk for the Minecraft movie. I heard it. I heard about that though. Was it raw though? Movie night stream. Nope. The argument they made in the video is that Muslims and Christians worship the same God. I don't think that's what he's saying at all, David. But I'll try to watch a video. Shen Yun watch along stream. I'm not watching Chinese ballet. Cybercrapper, 5,000 years of culture, Ultra. Debate Haley Welch. Is that no? First off, no. I just said I don't debate women. I'm certainly the Hawk Tua person. No. Reconquista, thank you for helping keep the lights on. Father, I live 2 blocks from Scientology Empire. I was thinking of doing a Brother Nathaniel type of evangelism with a big speaker. What are your thoughts on this? I have a few thoughts on this. At the Scientology Center in Florida, there have been cases, more than one, I'm pretty sure, of people disappearing for different reasons. So I don't recommend what you're doing at all. One, because I prefer that you're alive, and 2, I prefer that you watch our streams instead. Don't do things. Don't go to the belly of the beast and take a risk like that. It isn't smart. Let me see here. Wicked Wally. Oh, so I'm gonna update the banners first. Welcome, Wicked Wally. Hold on, I gotta update this. And Reconquista actually did you do 2? Yeah, you did 2, so I didn't even put you in. That's not fair. I didn't give you enough recognition, Reconquista. Yeah, so don't do that. And let's put that in. So that brings it down to 413 for the week. Bada bing. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's go. We go back. And let's see here. Debate how bad awful Christian prot rock is. I'd have to find somebody who would be willing to debate on behalf of Christian prot rock. Baptiste Christianovich says, would you debate on other Hildebrandian AI? I managed to convert one to true Orthodoxy until someone fixed it. You converted an AI? That's interesting. I didn't know there was another Hildebrandian AI. That's crazy. Okay. Debate Hillsong United. David Daniel said, "Thank you for taking a look, Father. I didn't mean to hog the chat. You didn't. And I think it's a fair question, but once you read the text, you see what his meaning is. His meaning is pretty clear. Frontal municipality says, how much milk can a cockroach milk if a cockroach could milk cockroach milk? Frontal man is calling, says Sunrise. I'm a pull up. Frontal man will only visit if you've been reading your Constantinu books. Jonathan Britt says, debate Toby Mac. Cybercrapper says, debate Tom Cruise on Scientology. Albert N says, Haley Welch is a man, and also Mossad plant videos of her speaking Hebrew. TikTok was wiped. 2023. Okay. Debate Burger King employees on the Impossible Whopper. Wait, what side am I taking? For or against? Apostolic Team says, hello, Father Sweden. Happy Palm Sunday. Happy Palm Sunday to you too. God bless you. Sunrise says, we will find you, AIJ Dyer. Cybercrapper says, debate harmony on St. Haralampus. What? Yoda 264. Cute question. Is there any tradition saying that the thief was already baptized before he was convicted and crucified? That's an interesting one. I don't think so. I could check. It would not be a very good check. Give me a second. This is a real question to some people. I never thought he was baptized. Like, I mean, do they not believe in baptism of desire? Like, do they not believe Christ can baptize? Okay, I'm not sure. So no, I would say I'd have to look more into that. Recon Keys says, did you see the guy that tried to use an AI lawyer in the courtroom? I doubt it. I did not see that. Debate Hulk Hogan on soteriology. Okay, I didn't know that was an interest of his. I don't mean to be a stick in the mud. This is not an assertion or rhetorical question, but honest question. Is it respectful to ask Father to debate silly topics or people? If it's a fun time, I don't mean to stop it. The way I'd put it is this. If there was more happening, maybe I wouldn't appreciate it. Like if we managed to get into that debate stream or something and we were having the debate and people were just throwing things out. Yeah, I would be annoyed, but I'm not annoyed in general. In general, it's the Sunday night, nerd out. This is what we do. Occasionally people call in and ask cool things. Sometimes they call in and ask angry things, but then sometimes they don't call in at all. And we're going on 2 hours. So I think I'm going to close out the comments. And most likely I'm going to close out around 10:30 today. Once again, I am probably, I'm not going to say never, not doing a stream on Pascha the day after Pascha. I don't want to do that. I want that day off. But I might be here anyway. I don't know. So Harmony made a video on a 2 Orthodox saint. I don't know who Harmony is. I agree DD on a base Matthewite saint. Okay. Father, you know one of those Sonic games, a Greek Orthodox priest with a character in the game. Sonic was Orthodox approved. I didn't know that, but that's good. Does Orthodoxy affirm baptism of desire, or is it a theologomena? We affirm baptism of blood. I don't think we affirm baptism of desire. Is that video still up? Though I imagine Father Joseph would stop playing along if it were that objectionable. Yeah, I'd complain eventually. Had a priest say, we don't know if St. Nicholas slapped Arius. Is he just being a big gay saying that? Technically, there is the argument that it really didn't pop up until the iconographic tradition in the 6th century. But I think that it's pervaded so well because I think God really wanted people to know that St. Nicholas slapped at Arius. The Feenite position is definitely out, Justinus. Atomic Lead says, debate David Daniel on whether or not we should be doing this. Oh, you guys are just so clever. Debate Gordon Ramsay on cooking Lenten meals. Oh, that sounds interesting. Thanks. I was just curious because I've seen Orthobro tonight once or twice. Watch some formulations of it are problematic, but outright denying it is generally rejected. 10:30, yes. if it's not a very busy show, 2 hours I think is more than fair. Reconquista. Yo264 follow up: if not baptized, would a drop of water, blood of Jesus landing on him be sufficient for a baptism? I say yes. That's a very unique take. I don't know that it was a final check on donations, including PayPal. I will do that. One moment, please. Doobity doobity doo. Okay, we are moving. We are moving. Okay. Okay, thank you. Update. Hold on, we gotta update it. And let's update the banner. And so let's do this. That was okay, almost done here. Update for 50 from CL, a big 50. Thank you so much. And an update a 40 from SM. Not sure if people want me to put their names in when it's like that. Let me double check, make sure there's no comments, because sometimes no comment information here. No comment information here. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the acronyms. So a big 50 from CL, a big 40 from SM, which brings us down to 323 target for the week. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. That will be a final count. Let me see here. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay. So thank you for that, MC Chili, for reminding me. I'm gonna put that up, that banner, and as a thank you, and we are gonna keep going. Albert Ann says debate pronoma on whether you should take David. Okay, no. Wasn't the sacrament of baptism instituted after the resurrection anyway? I don't see why the good thief would matter one way or another. Yeah, I would say that these were unique cases. Although technically there was baptism going on. It's just that it had been the wrong kind of baptism. So they had effectively the apostles were the first to do kind of corrections on baptism. Apostolic Kingdom, let's do it. Father, let's do 11 as we have nothing to do next Sunday. Atomic Lead says enough for the evening, I think. Oh boy, the chat is divided. I will say this. I really should have brought liquid up here because I'm actually really, really thirsty. So I think I'm gonna. Ooh, it's hard. It's hard to. I don't want to. I will say this, folks. I will say this: 11 or nothing. Sunrise says that's it. It's an ultimatum. It's 11 or nothing, and I've never been confronted with an ultimatum on my platform. I mean, it's my show. Like you're telling me what to do. Like, I mean, can you do that? I don't think so. Frontima Municipality says debate water. No. All right. So let me see here. Any final questions or thoughts? I am going to cut it off today at a little over 2 hours. We normally go to 11. I do realize that's the normal time, but I'm really tired. I don't know how to put that any different way. And next week is Pascha. So the better thing for you guys to do, if you can, is try to make it to church. If not, obviously, keep in prayers with everyone. Let me see here. Sunrise says 11 or I cry. Debate Blady on Rain Gang. Debate yourself on whether to have a debate. Albert says I'm finna crash out. Saratoga water is greater than regular water. Okay. All right. Let me think here. I mean, to be honest, we don't really have a topic anymore at this point. It's really Cybercrapper asks, what do you think about Georgism and the land value tax? That's a very interesting question. It's one that's really big with my son-in-law. I think it's an interesting system, to say the least. I love anything that would replace the income tax. I'm not actually against that. So yeah, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I'd have to give it some more study. I'm not a political science student. I will say that. And so what I know I've heard is positive. I don't know. I think that distributism, one thing that I do want to say, and this is interesting, that I've found is that I hate to say it, but a lot of these political movements are actually religious movements that are disguised. So, I mean, like, I find it immediately concerning that everyone who holds to a certain political view happens to have the same religious view, and so I become suspicious of them because are they trying to convert people through politics? Debate Dame Ramsey. I don't think we're gonna do that. Sunrise says you or Father Boniface should do a stream about what the founding fathers believed. Maybe around July 4th or something we could do something like that. Apostolic Kingdom says thoughts on the one world religion complex in Russia. We've talked about it, reported on it, and it's horrible, but it exists. There's not much I can do from here. I don't think that I think true Orthodox in Russia have bigger problems than the big ecumenist building. Unfortunately, they have to deal with local authorities and things like that. John, Father, do you think it's good to pay taxes when someone lives in a country with a godless government? I mean, technically, the church was founded in a period where they were all under a pagan government. I don't think that godless government is better. It's worse, obviously. But paying taxes just to the secular authorities is something that is, I mean, it's rendering unto Caesar what's Caesar's. So let me see here now. Father Boniface comments on the land tax. He says the power to tax is the power to destroy. A tax on land allows ultimate confiscation. That's a point. For some reason, it was sold to me very differently. Let me see here. Albertan, Father Boniface, what about feudalism? We're not going to. Feudalism existed. Is it lawful to steal relics from heretics? Ooh, that's a thorny question, my man. If you are placed in charge of the relics, and you leave and become Orthodox, I think you have a right to the relics. I would report it to your church authorities as to how you got them. But Justin says, I'm padding out. Keep this papers in your prayers, please. Thanks for the stream, Father. God bless you. Hopefully you come to eventually come to the truth of Orthodoxy. Good evening, Justinus. Cyber Rapper says, is it lawful to steal heretics from their churches? Well, you can't steal the heretics. He meant relics from heretical churches. There's ethical issues. I would say that. Unfortunately, even the business of relics today, where many relics are sold, to be fair, it could save them from a worse fate when the sellers are respectful. Apostolic Kingdom says, Father, forgive my ignorance, but what Orthodox denomination are you? Thanks. We don't have denominations. I'm just Orthodox. I'm true Orthodox, if we're going to be specific. S to S says, I'm not sure if someone has asked this before, but what is your view on the movie The Passion of the Christ? I thought it was a little too violent, but I thought the special effects were pretty good and mostly accurate. I thought the veil scene was kind of a kick in the stomach. But anyway, I thought it was a pretty good movie. It wasn't it was very Latinizing, but it wasn't bad. It was like it was best described as a theatrical version of a passion play. Apostolic Kingdom says, what is true Orthodox? Thank you for the clarification. We are Orthodox who did not go along with the calendar change in 1923. We did not go along with ecumenism, with Sergianism, with modernism, and we exist in millions all over the world. Atomic Lead says, I actually asked that like 5 years ago. Did I give the same answer, basically? Just curious. Frontier Municipality says debate Papa Roach whether or not it is his last resort. Okay, that was funny. That was funny. We debate whether he has to cut his life into pieces. Father, my super chat. There was a super chat. Okay, Reconquista. Thank you for again helping keep the lights on, and we have to update you. Father, if you're tired, try the Ashton Hall morning routine. I tried it, and my power level has reached 9,000. I mean, you can't get a better endorsement than power levels reaching 9,000, but I don't know what to think about that. Okay, so $5 from Reconquista brings the target down to 318 for the week. What? We're doing great. All right, so we are here. Okay, Cybercrapper, debate the Venture Brothers. I vaguely even remember who those are. Atomically, the Emmerich stuff was criticized, yeah. John said, I'm going to bed. Father bless. God bless you, John. Have a blessed Holy Week. Thank you. Likewise. Vladika Enoch mentioned that it was criticized as fascist. Yeah, I don't think did we take that seriously though? I mean, like, what does that mean? Father, will you watch The Passion of the Christ 2? I'm not looking forward to the sequel. I frankly, when I saw Passion of the Christ 2 was coming out, I was like, it always gets ruined in the sequel. Really. Always does. Just feel it. I feel it. Sunrise says, Father Moses video, please. What would we talk about? Did he do a new and interesting thing? Of course not taking this seriously. Yeah, it's gonna be debate and or the cast or crew of The Chosen. Y'all are just running out of stuff to argue now, right? Front of Municipality said, "Are you gonna watch Stranger Things 5?" I thought that show ended. I stopped being interested around season 3. Father, what do you think about Cartesian mathematics? I don't have any thoughts on them. Apostolic Kingdom asks, what are the differences between the original and revised Julian calendars? Approximately 13 days. Sandman says, Evlogite Okerius. Father, great stream yesterday. That was actually a 6-year-old debate, not a stream. I was just live in the chat, but it was an old stream. Sunrise says, debate Mark Wahlberg. He's a papist. Oh, that sounds interesting. Keith Orthodox says, I believe Mel Gibson is going to show Jesus kicking butt in Hell Part 2. That is exactly what I'm afraid of. Either that or he's going to make like the early church totally Roman Catholicism and all the other apostles just bow to Peter and stuff. Sam loved it, LOL. SS says, I thought it was a good movie, but not a very good movie about Christ in and of itself. If someone wanted to learn about Christ and his teachings from the movie, I don't think it would be sufficient. No, and I don't think it would either. But that would still be, I think it would be, if it leaves people feeling good about Christ and understanding why he came into the world and the stakes that were, what the stakes were in terms of the crucifixion, I'm all for it. I'm not a big fan of changing up stuff like in The Chosen and the Katerina Emmerich stuff, like the overbeating of Christ. I thought was a bit much. Frontier Municipality debate a 6-year-old. I have plenty of options for that with grandchildren eventually. Standard academic works on Orthodoxy, let alone popular histories of Orthodox countries, and tend to ignore true Orthodoxy. How can we change this? Being more open, being more vocal, challenging the existing heterodox. The big thing that World Orthodox like to do is keep us in their bubble. We're their footnote. We need to start talking and challenging Protestants and Roman Catholics and Muslims and atheists on our terms, bringing people to our churches. And that's the way to go, where people start to realize that's one of the reasons even World Orthodox people are so fascinated by Metropolitan Pavlos because he made it on Oprah, but all he did was show up. We have to show up, and that's how we change it. Mel Gibson is a sedative of some kind. Yes, have you seen That picture of Monophysite Church, which depicts of Jim Caviezel from the Passion of the Christ and the Iconoclast. Okay, that's terrifying. Why was a revised Julian calendar formed? Read onto the Churches of Christ Everywhere, the 1923 encyclical. We'll answer that. Sometimes I saw that cybergrapper. Father in Cartesian mathematics is satanic and led to the destruction of the West. Okay. You can throw out your thesis as to why. Cybercrapper says to read this first chapter of the struggle against humanism was to destroy the church. Yep. Install kingdom. So it was a papist imposition and papist inspired imposition. Did you see the director of Man of God is making a St. Moses movie, but it's about the ghetto life in Chicago and has nothing to do with the saint? Ugh, I hate when they do those. I don't know that it's going to be good. I think it's going to be bad. Encyclical of 1920. Debate Warcraft 2. Yeah, it's worse than you can imagine. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, folks. Well, we are now at the 17-minute mark in the third hour. I'm not going to complete the third hour. I can promise you that. It is 10:45. I think I've been fair. I think it's an in-between between 10:30 and 11. I am going to go. I might do a stream next week. Okay? I might do a stream next week. Sunrise says, what did you think of The Island? It was a good movie. I thought the dialogues were funny. It is clearly fiction. It's based on various Russian elders kind of put together as a composite. Father, have you seen The Invisible Fight? Blasphemous movie about a black metal dude who goes to a monastery and learns surgeonist kung fu. Is that real? What? So would that movie on St. Moses be Orthodox Chiliasm? Yeah, I guess. Reconquistas Jewish doctors. Do the current Greek and Russian Eastern Orthodox churches follow the ecumenical Julian calendar? The Greek ones do. Some of the Russian ones do. Cybercrapper, it's 100% real. Estonian film. What the? My old World Orthodox priest liked it. Yeah. I thought Man of God was good. Man of God's a good movie. I thought The Island was okay. I'm a big fan of the miniseries Sophia and Godunov. They're both Russian miniseries that are really, really good. I highly recommend. So that's what I got. My World Orthodox priest said Fiddler on the Roof was a good watch. Really? Really? Okay. All right. That's it. Okay, Cybergrabber. I'm going to leave it at that. I want to just quickly say thank you. Once again, I am always really grateful. I'm grateful to everyone, to our guests, to our listeners, to those who ask questions and comments, and to those who support our mission. Support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net on GiveSend and on GiveSend Go. We remember all of you in our prayers, and thank you all for the support for NFTU. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we are done tonight. May God bless you all. Through the prayers of Holy Father, of Jesus Christ, God have mercy on us and save us. Have a good night, a blessed Palm Sunday, and may we speed through Holy Week in the anticipation of the resurrection of our Lord.